Line on DFWiRadio. How y'all doing this morning? If y'all here listening to us, we appreciate y'all. That's a blessing. Y'all made it to another weekend. I sound real just...
Yes, that's a vibe.
You know what? It's been one of those mornings. It's been... I know I can't hear myself either. I hear myself a little bit. Not just a little bit. We're going to get that second word. But how y'all doing, Candy?
Hey, y'all.
What's going on? T?
Hey, the female T is here.
The real T?
Yeah.
Is that a competition though?
It's not a competition because one is female. Like, it's Women's History Month, so I win. I'm a...
Okay. All right. We appreciate y'all being here tonight. We got the homie D in the building. We got the homie Jay in the building. We're going to be vibing today. What's going on? Because before we get into the conversation today, the topic of the day is mental health.
Yeah.
You know, I want to talk about real quick.
Got so many minds.
It's just a lot of just foolishness going on these days, ain't it? Your man's got arrested for what? For he get 16 felonies.
Who?
Jesse
got 16
Smollett
felonies.
from Empire.
16 counts. Yeah.
16
Claimed he
felonies.
got beat up by
Jesse from
Empire.
Are you talking about Jamal? The one that
his name is Jesse, yes, but we're talking about Jamal from Empire.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know his real name.
Jamal is his name on the
Jamal.
After they started kissing on there, I was done with the show. I'm not doing it. I'm not.
I love Jamal. That really upset me because I really love him.
16. Hold on, but the dude.
But it went up from like 4 to 16. Don't y'all? That ain't suspect. That ain't
like why though?
I mean, but the dude who was a swimmer, my old lady just reminded me of this. The dude who was a swimmer, he did the same shit in the Olympics. And
He sure did. In a whole other country.
In another country though.
We can't hear his mic either.
I'm off.
Get closer.
Get closer. Say it again.
Did in another country.
There
Oh
you
yeah,
go.
there we go. Yeah,
Different rules.
Yeah, but still though.
I mean, you know.
It wasn't a
different
hoopla, nothing like that. It was good. It was good for about a week, and then you know, Phelps came in and just swam it away.
So when did they take him to jail?
I don't know. Same time R.kelly went.
Damn.
Well,
No,
which
he
time
went
did
the week before.
went for the child support? The first.
Shit.
Don't he sing?
Huh?
Don't he sing?
Jamal?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all singing real life.
Yo, can you picture being in jail with him and
R. Kelly? It's gonna be
Yo, that's a
foolishness in
straight.
there.
Oh.
Yo, do they have talent shows in jail?
They about to have one.
Look,
Create
that
a
song
whole
gonna be lit
album,
right
bro.
there. You know they group the same
Cook
motherfuckers
County.
with each other. They group the same motherfuckers with each other, so it's gonna be packed at that end, goddamn.
Yeah.
It's gonna be packed. You know, the Michael Vick people, he by himself.
Michael Vick. Oh, my God.
Shout out to the my man Murray. They try to tarnish him too. Like, why would you do that? And you may not know what I'm talking about. You know Colin Murray. You don't know
I have
Colin
no
Murray?
idea.
Are we talking sports?
We gonna flip flop before we get to
Listen.
mental health today. But you don't know who Colin Murray is?
No, I you know Miss T doesn't do sports, but I do know
You know
that like they
Kyler
trying
Murray.
to take that
Who is
all the
he?
way.
Yeah,
from
I
him.
do.
Am I
Oh, you
Who
quarterback?
is he?
Oh, you quarterback, Heisman winner.
The dude
Heisman Trophy winner.
who he got drafted first round in baseball, and then obviously he's a first round candidate in football.
Right.
So he had to make a decision. Well, he walked away from what 5-10 million a signing bonus already in baseball.
Okay,
To
yeah.
try to go to football. Well, you know, him and what's the boy who went to the Browns? Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Same type of quarterback, but Baker obviously was very out in the open as far as his traits on how he acted.
Okay.
And this dude, Kyler Murray, man, they start putting just bad reports out on him or something. Just like, it was just one of those things.
He
Like,
made somebody mad.
I don't even think it made him mad. I think it's, skin color.
You know.
Yeah, skin color.
If you got the skin color and you don't make them mad, then
Husky, what up, bro? Huh?
you be chilling.
That's true.
But when you make them mad, then it's like, oh, you getting out of line.
Make a man for what? Coming to the league?
Who knows?
I mean-
you said he turned down baseball though, right?
Right. That's
Right.
a lot of money to be turning down.
Right.
I didn't think they made more money doing that.
And somebody probably was banking on that.
In his position, it could be an argument because he plays quarterback. You know, quarterbacks making all the bread.
Yeah.
Well, I heard he was kind of being a little bit greedy about the baseball contract. You know, saying that don't take it 100%, but he was just saying I want this much, or I'm not coming to play for you guys.
You don't think he got it right though?
I mean, if he's that good of a player, I feel like he can, put his price where he's worth.
All of it's fucked up. I mean, you got the coach from LSU who just got in trouble for being wired. He got caught on wiretaps for talking about paying a player. One of his current players, Javonte Smart. You know what I mean? It's like we talked about it last time. It's to the point now with college You know, it happened with who was the money dude? Manziel. It happened with Manziel when they was selling his jerseys. You know what I mean? He got in trouble for selling his autograph.
And LeBron almost lost everything way back in the day.
Yeah, it's like you gotta start paying.
They know what they care about him.
Oh my God! You gotta stop the hate. You gotta stop the hate today. You gotta stop it today. Nah, I feel you. I have my arguments about Bron, but it's great. It's great what he did. He passed one of the greats. That don't make him better than Jordan. It don't make him better than Jordan. It's just, that's an accomplishment. It's an accomplishment that we on that stage that we normally don't get. You know what I mean?
It's a debate.
It is. It's a debate that we can't really go into. But what I kind of want to get into the segue of mental health. Did y'all hear about who Cowboys fans in here?
Yeah, JK. Oh,
yeah, listen.
No, ain't no Cowboys fan.
We know you're not a Cowboys fan.
But shit just like
we know you're not a Cowboys fan. I'm not gonna go there with you.
Ain't nothing about the Cowboys.
I'm not gonna go there with you right now. Giants fan.
Whatever.
Giant fan.
Giants. I don't. Yeah.
Nick fan.
Yes. I actually not a Nick fan though.
Who you?
But listen,
not at all.
Who that?
I hate Jerry. I hate his whole plantation.
Okay,
his whole plantation.
That's the whole NFL then. If that's the case, that's the whole NFL then. But I'm not. But not necessarily Cowboys. Did y'all hear about what the guy who abruptly retired, quit? You hear about that? The football player.
On, like, Instagram.
Yeah. He took that hit, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Nah, this ain't for me,
bruh."
Yeah.
That's why I want to kind of get into because today's topic is about mental health. We went. Candy put out a poll. And it was anonymous that people want to talk about mental health.
Yeah, everybody.
He stated a lot of, damn, that food smelled good.
I'm sorry.
He spoke about, and I hate the fact that everybody took what he was doing on there, the fact that he was losing millions, and it overshadowed his whole message. And it was about mental health.
Yeah.
It was literally about mental health.
Well, isn't he the one? I'm trying to think because I think I saw on the news the other day. Wasn't it like that he quit because they were trying to make a big deal of him smoking weed or whatever? Yeah, but then like there's other players that are addicted to opiates and all that stuff.
That's what he
was
saying.
Yeah.
I think he clearly probably does have a problem, but on what he was saying, I don't think he necessarily worded it correctly. But I would rather be using this than start getting in the habit of taking these opioids that you're giving me for pain. And what's going to happen? You see a lot of old players, they get hooked on this shit.
They do.
They codependent.
Who plays sports in here?
Oh, I might. Yeah.
What you play?
I'm
just saying.
Hey.
I
used to be in good shape. Thank you very much. I used to play basketball and I ran track.
You ran track?
Yeah.
I can see you're a volleyball player.
No, I hate volleyball. I'm a cool.
What about you?
I used to dance.
So your knees.
Basketball.
Retired. So we all play sports in here.
Yeah.
How many of y'all had injuries? Serious injuries?
Listen, my shoulders
no.
give me problems.
Have you had surgery?
I haven't had surgeries, but the only reason I quit basketball because I have fluid stuck in my knees, and I kept banging them, and so they were like, either you get surgery and remove the fluid, or quit. I was like, I'm gonna quit.
What about you?
I've never had any major injuries.
What about you, bro?
Nah, no injuries.
Hola, negro.
I've once for half had my knee cut open.
Oh Lord.
Look, the pain, the pills that they give y'all, bro. Do you understand how it makes you feel? You everybody's in here smoke weed before. I'm not trying to put nobody on blast, but I'm asking.
Yeah.
Everybody smoke weed in here before?
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Okay.
Never.
The feeling. Okay, think about being high, but 20 times worse with a groggy, nausea feeling. That's what you're getting with these pills that they prescribe you. They're supposed to take the pain away.
Yeah.
I've heard that prescription pain medicines are like
T-Rex, what up?
Good drugs.
TB, what up?
Like for
better
words,
right.
I've heard that people say you up there.
Yeah.
Right. You relax.
You not feeling nothing.
You relaxed a little bit too much.
Yeah.
A little
really,
too much.
Yeah.
Like you're unaware.
When you get those, your doctor is now your dealer, and what you just bought was heroin.
I've heard.
That's what
and
it
that's
is.
facts, man. That's
We're about to talk
it's
about
truly
that.
Facts.
Have you watched
It's truly facts. It's a temporary thing. It's like a temporary fix.
Yeah.
But that's why so many people get addicted
It's all
to
from the
it.
same plant as heroin.
Right.
The Rockets
exactly, man.
Kind of takes a play on the NFL.
What's it called, babe?
And it's like now
HBO?
you need the drug.
Ballers.
Now you have to keep
Ballers.
going back to him. You know,
like
you get addicted to it. Now you have to keep going back to him.
Like he can't get off of it.
Crazy.
And I for the sake of the conversation, I don't want to get into the actual use of it because I think more so much of what he was doing on camera kind of took away from his message. And obviously he didn't necessarily word it.
He has a bad publicist because
they should have been on his ass. That should have been on his ass. Like, what the fuck is you doing? But at the same time, like,
interrupting the live feed. What?
I mean, yeah, but it's like you have a voice, but there's so much, even being famous, like, I feel like you should still have your own voice. It shouldn't be controlled by your publicist, your agents, all that.
He's he's in Dallas.
Yeah.
Frisco. Smoking a blunt and trying to have a message. I'm sorry, we're not gonna pay attention to.
Oh, you see, I didn't know he was in Dallas though.
The only person that we listen to like that and they have a message is Snoop Dogg. Like that's the only.
It's not necessarily that because I think people who smoke and people who are woke, they saw past what he was doing. Right.
Yeah.
But for the multitude of the mass, a lot of us aren't woke. A lot of us can't even admit that they have a problem. So you see that and you be like, this fool up here doing it. You're calling him a fool and you automatically cancel out everything he's trying to say. And he was trying to speak about mental health, which we're speaking about today. Yeah. So kind of going into mental health, and I started like this for a long time, and I think it's a mirror of how all young black boys, and again when I have this conversation, I'm speaking from a black Aboriginal background because that's what I am. I can't relate to anybody else's past. But yeah. You know what I mean? Like, look, I get some nitty gritty around here. But no. But when I as far as my upbringing, we were taught not to cry. Crying was not necessarily
shown a weakness.
It was shown as a weakness.
Yes.
Not to necessarily deal with your emotions, but to hold them in, get over that hump. Because why? For a black man, for a melanated person, this world will eat you up and spit you out, right?
Yeah.
But down the line, what problems are that creating?
Creates a lot.
Mentally,
yeah. Emotionally, yeah.
And so I want to kind of start off that, you know what I mean, as far as mental health, why is it, I ain't going to say why because like I said, there's billions of reasons. But I guess it is a why. Why aren't we expressing ourselves? Because that's the biggest thing. I think if we had somebody to talk to, shit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it can start with the talking to, but I think a lot of it too has to do with the situation. Like, in order, like, for example, like, you see depression. Why? How do you know it's depression? Like, in my case, like, I know I have depression because it runs in my family. My family has depression. I see my mama to the point where she locked herself in a closet and wouldn't come out.
Right.
Like, I've had to hold my mom being 6 years old, like, Mommy, what's wrong? And she doesn't want to get out of bed.
Right.
Like, it sucks. But then I didn't know that literally runs in the family.
But you know, even with that, you know, one thing I've had to learn in myself, think about, you said it runs down the family. That's
certain stuff.
But can we all agree that the depression as a mental disorder isn't chemical? It's almost learned.
Okay. Yeah and no.
Yeah.
Because it's nature nurture. Because that goes down to nature nurture. She says you saw her mom lock herself in the door, and the first thing I think about is she's not dealing with whatever the issues are, and we don't deal with our issues.
Yeah, but you're not taught to how to deal with it though.
But I guess
when you have something like that,
the reason why I say yes and no, because there's a side of it that says even if you have sometimes people can't tell you how to deal with a particular issue. Like I can't tell you. I could tell you what worked for me,
right?
And this is how I shook it. But you could go try those same things, and that don't work for you.
Exactly.
And you still of that.
But you know what? And I tell this. Ooh, I say this a lot. Sometimes it's not necessarily for you to give me a solution. Sometimes I just need to vent.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of those personal things, a lot of those things that weigh us down, that make us depressed. You know what thing? And I never knew I dealt with depression myself until I became serious about being an artist.
Yeah.
Because I was pouring so much of myself into those lyrics, into those visuals. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You start sitting there thinking about that shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know how to deal with that shit.
You're in your head.
And when you go, you know, it's funny that we may not even realize we trying to vent sometimes.
Well, like Miranda said, some people either don't know how or don't want to deal with it because it means that there is something wrong. So they're in denial.
I know for me, and I've struggled with depression, and I know for me, I've struggled with depression, and I didn't realize I'm not as loud as I know, man. It's the bottom of my throat.
It was that sandwich that you ate from the bottle of. That's what it was.
I be hungry. No, but for me, I struggled with depression for a period of time, and it wasn't until I was on the other side of it that I could say, wait a minute, I was depressed. Mm-hmm. And because what I thought was what was actually bothering me, I didn't think was bothering me. I'm okay, I'm good, but secretly somewhere in the back of my mind, you're not good.
Right.
And then you're too afraid to tell people that you're not good because they can give you 1,000,005 reasons why you should be
why
good,
you should,
why
exactly.
this wasn't right for you, and it doesn't matter. I still just wasn't good with it.
And
I
know
agree.
what? And you know what? You have kids?
I have 2 awesome dogs. Okay.
Okay. But,
that's fine. That's what I respond to.
But what I was gonna go into, single parents. Think about how much in all lady, throw your hands up, Miss Independent Woman.
And that's what you. I will say. Listen, because you said it. I don't have kids, but I'm a single woman.
Right.
And that I don't call it for what it is because it's on the pipeline and I feel like I can do it.
Go for it.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Some of that Beyonce bullshit will get you. I love Beyonce, but we'll get to listen to Beyonce.
The Beehive coming. Beehive coming.
But no, but I'm saying you will, and it's not really Beyonce music is not therapy.
No,
it's not counseling. It's not helping you process it. It's just doing what I say marijuana, any drug does. It's making you feel good at the moment. You still have to go back and deal with the deep roots of it.
And think about those deep roots. And what was you about to say? You about to say?
No, because Miranda said my boyfriend struggles with a mental issue. It's a form of bipolar, and he was on meds and did therapy, and it helped him, but it was only temporary. He eventually stopped the meds and therapy, thinking he was good, and now he's back to where he started. And none of us can make him go back. It's up to him. Okay,
so if a lot of people don't even know what bipolar is when you have highs and lows.
Yeah.
I don't agree with meds because meds. What? When you watching the commercials,
I don't like meds.
Who be up late at night? You seen the commercials, and they be like
all the time.
Do you have the shit? if so, take this, and then they're gonna go. Well, this got this side effect, this side effect, this side effect, this side effect, this side effect.
It might kill you,
they
but
got more side effects than benefits now.
Yo, and then 2 weeks later, then they make another commercial saying, "If you took this pill, contact us right now." You know what I'm saying? You might qualify to get some money or something. You know what I'm saying?
And who is that commercial's best friend? The goddamn doctor, because the doctor be like, oh, I got this pill that's gonna fix that shit.
Exactly.
I got another pill that's gonna fix that shit.
But it doesn't, because I was literally 3 years ago. I was literally on 9 different medications. 9 for insomnia, for panic attacks, for anxiety, for my depression, for like a lot of stuff, for my PTSD, everything. And it came to the point where I couldn't function. Like, I felt like a zombie. Like, I was not myself. And you know how hyper and bubbly I am. Like, it was like going from 100 to just straight 0. Like, I was just sitting there, just not me.
Yeah, you remember that conversation we had earlier this week where I said, I feel like diet has something to do with it too. Think about all those chemicals you put in your body for I don't know how much, how long. And have you ever detoxed? But a proper I'm getting ready to do my first detox. I'm fasting. I'm ready. I think I'm ready.
It's hard, but it's worth it.
That detox gets that shit out your body. But think about the food we put in our body. What, that Patti LaBelle pie? Who had that Patti LaBelle pie in here?
Oh, you know what? I never tasted the patty pie.
Oh, I ain't eat that shit. Okay, you made a sweet potato pie by itself. Yes. How many ingredients in it?
He said, let me Google it real quick. He said, I gotta find out. Hold on.
Is it more than 7? No. It ain't more than 7. Guess how many ingredients it got on the back of it?
You looked at the back of the ingredients?
It got 30 plus fucking ingredients in it.
Well, because they're trying to store... People have to realize about things like that, especially your freezer foods.
Right.
And I know I'm a freezer food. I used to be a freezer food junkie because you don't cook as often as you do. You want things to last and you want things to make do. But they try to make that stuff where it stays.
Right.
Like, it has to come from wherever it's made at, and then you got to put it... It's like, do you understand when that was actually made?
I understand that. But look at the problem of it, though. It's not decomposing.
No.
And it's sitting in your body.
I mean, yeah.
But think about, you got to think of the steps of it. If it's sitting in your body and it's not decomposing, what's in that food? Chemicals, correct? It's words that we cannot pronounce.
Right.
So that stuff is sitting there just leaking in your body.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think that will create like a mental health disorder.
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, who has itis before? Chemical imbalance, and that's a disorder in itself.
Right.
Think who's had itis
makes
before?
You feel a certain way. So.
Ain't all that goddamn food on Thanksgiving time. What you want to do?
Go to
sleep.
Right. Sleepy. You don't got no energy to do nothing.
Right.
Your food can either be a weapon or it can be energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes you feel a certain way. You know, eating like a lot of fast food and stuff, and it makes you feel sluggish. You know, kind of sluggish and out. So
kind of going back to the mental health thing, and you know, one of the biggest things one of the weirdest things is you see so many people dealing with these issues, and you know, like we said, a lot of people say, I ain't got no issue. I got my house, I got this roof over my head, I got clothes on my back, I got this and I got that, thinking that's what equates to happiness.
It doesn't, though.
But it doesn't. What is that wow? What is that pride? What is that pride that's making us say, outside where everybody gonna see me, I'm gonna smile big, and I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to make it seem like I'm this. But when I get in that house, I'm just a whole zombie. Like you said.
I mean,
go ahead.
No, excuse me. Ooh. Sorry. I don't know. Like, to me, it's just like, I feel like you have to fake it till you make it. But the reason why I say that is because, like, when I decided to get help for all my issues that people say I had issues, like, I didn't realize I was in denial for the longest time. And so I did get help, but I felt like that help made it worse in the sense of, like, medications and stuff like that. So I took myself off. I've been off of them for a while, but I don't like to show people, like, hey, I'm depressed. Right. Or, like, when I break out in a panic attack, like, I freaking hate, like, I can't control it, but I hate being around people because they're like, oh my God, I'm just like, don't feel bad for me. Like, I have enough dealing with that by myself, feeling bad for myself. Right. And I think that's what makes people fake it when they go out, because you don't want other people feeling bad for you. Like, you just don't. At least that's my circumstance. Like, I don't. I hate when people feel bad for me. Like, I'm good. I'm fine. Like, I'm dealing with it.
But do you think that's a form of, not necessarily, because when people think about it like this, if you was to tell me something, I'm a digger. You know, I'm a dig. I'm what? If you don't see you, because if my thing is, as a person, as a human being, if I bring it up, it's some bit of part of me that want to talk about this shit.
Right.
I mean, you can talk about it, but it's just not meant to talk with everybody.
But if you bring it up, it's something that's because think we bring up what we want to bring up.
Yeah.
In any piece of conversation. So if you tell me something and it catch my ear, and I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. And I start bringing deep and digger. Deep and digger.
Deep and digger.
Tiggo bitties. Tiggo bitties. If I started
digging deeper.
There we go. That's what for what she said.
Keep it that way.
If I start going, if I start getting deeper in and you stop, that's something that's making your issues worse.
Yeah.
It's making your issues worse for the person who's putting that bait out there for that person to even bring it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? T, what was you about to say?
For me, it was not wanting to talk about it. I don't want you to dig deep. I didn't want to talk about it.
Right.
And I want you to, I have enough care about that you have things going on in your life. And for me, when I look at my life, I've been fairly blessed. There's a lot of things and issues that I see people deal with that I've never dealt with before.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't want you to feel some type of way that I'm caught up on this.
Mm-hmm.
And you over here, you got what we call deem a real issue.
Right.
Exactly.
And I didn't want it to, I'll just keep it to myself. And I'm okay and I'm good. But really I'm not. And then when I put that real issue in quotes because we have to stop mistreating people who haven't experienced the same thing, who life has just been kind to, as far as, you know, something, everybody, we all don't look for a world where everybody's not dealing with certain issues and things of that sort. But we'll say, oh, they ain't really been through nothing.
Exactly.
They this is second, third. You'll isolate them, and that's not true.
Right.
Because for whatever, it's to reach the magnitude for what their life constitutes as. And then for me, that's just what it was. I didn't want to share. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to admit to you that this is really a problem. So maybe it partially was a pride thing. I wanted to be okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But deep down on the inside, sometimes I wasn't. People have always said, since you have one of the best smiles ever. And I'll be like, sometimes you don't understand. What
it's hard to smile.
Make your way to the top, round and around. Okay.
It's hard.
All right, let's get up here and let's smile and let's do this. And deep down on the inside, man, I just want to. I go back to bed. Let's try again.
Quick stat as I was researching, because I try to, before we go into especially topics like this, I try to do just independent research. It was saying for black men between the ages of 15 and 24, the third leading cause of death was suicide.
Yeah.
And I know as us, I've always felt suicide was white people shit.
We feel like that's not ours.
It's,
We don't claim.
Yeah.
I thought that was white people shit. Bro. Like,
No, seriously, like, you don't think about it until it starts happening. Because I was one of those people, like, that was always like, hey, if you need someone to talk to me. Like, suicide's never the answer. I was like, no, I would never do that. Until I was in a really dark place, and I tried it.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow, like, I would never do it again, like, obviously. But I was in such a dark place where, like, I started understanding people that did it. Because it's such a like, not even a feeling, it's like you feel empty.
Yeah.
To the point where it's just like, I have no hope. I'm worthless. I don't want to be here. Yeah. And then you start thinking selfishly at the same time. And a lot of people, like, I don't care what y'all say, but y'all want to say it's selfish. And the only part selfish about it is that you're not thinking about your loved ones. But honestly, like, you don't understand what that person's going through. You don't understand their mindset. You don't understand the demons that they're fighting every freaking day to get to that point. It's not like we just wake up and be like, hey, I want to kill myself. Like, that's not the case.
How much does, and I'm mind you, I'm just posing questions as I think of them, but how much does circumstances as far as like financial, social, how we interact with each other socially, how much does all that factor in? Do you feel?
I feel it does, because when I got to that point, it was because I just lost a child or whatever, and everybody kind of just left. So it wasn't just the fact that I lost something that meant something to me, but the fact that nobody was around.
Yeah. The
fact that all my best friends was like, hey, I have your back, I'm here for you, but when I needed you, when I couldn't get out of bed, you were nowhere, not a call, not a text, not a, hey, Ashley, where are you?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And so it puts you in a worse mindset. Like, you need to have that support, even if you don't want to talk about it, just to have someone sit there and just let you cry. Yeah. Like, it goes a long way. It really does.
That's why one of the best things that started getting popular recently was check on your strong friend. The one that's always, so it's like, it's
the one that's always strong.
Yeah, the one that's always strong, always there, always hearing everybody else out. Yeah. But nobody ever turns around and be like, but how are you doing?
Exactly. That's how it felt for me.
If you go to a therapist and that therapist doesn't have a therapist, don't go to that therapist.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's true.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
And, I mean,
I be needing people to check on me too.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Everybody.
I be like, shit.
Everybody.
I think everyone should have that.
You got to check
person.
that temperature.
I think at one point in life, everybody deals with a little bit of depression, whether it's severe or just, you know what I mean? Like, I even gone through my days of just being kind of feeling like alone and stuff, and nobody checking up on me, and you know, but I was able to overcome it. You know what I'm saying? Music has played like a big role in that.
Yeah.
Music has definitely, and I'm pretty sure it's played a big role in you. Like when I felt alone, I was able to. I made some of my best work when I was alone.
Yeah.
Like dead serious, like making beats or making songs. Because I mean, my mind was kind of like bogulated, but then again, it was like I was able to still just focus on that one thing, and I know that, you know, like music would never hurt me, like straight up.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm glad you brought that up. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely therapy, but it's also, I think it also adds to the depression. And follow me when I say this. Kind of like when people try to use religion to rely on it. All I'm speaking about is relying on it, because you can use prayer. You can use prayer and think. I think we as a people use prayer and fall back on religion. Like, okay, everything's supposed to be better the next morning. We're still not dealing with the shit.
That's what this guy said. He was like,
just pray on it.
Yeah, we're not dealing with it. All you doing is just saying, okay, I'm gonna give it up there and. Hoping everything go away, and it don't work. Life don't work like that.
That's like you said.
I didn't want to bring that up, but like this guy just said that, and he's like, my thing is accountability on prayer plus faith brings strength. Not to preach because no one's perfect, and I didn't want to hit on that. But now that you brought it up, like I believe in God. Like y'all all know that. Like I do. Like I got baptized, everything. Yeah. But there's a difference of believing and having faith than just being blind. Like, God's going to be there. God's going to help you through it. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do to help yourself? Because he's going to give you the tools, but you got to go get it. Right. Like, it's you can't just sit there and be like, God help me, I'm depressed, and still lay in bed. What are you going to do?
Because that's like, there's a saying, honestly, I don't know if it's in the Bible or not. Mm-hmm. But it makes perfect sense. It says faith without work is dead. Yeah, so,
that's in the Bible.
All right, cool. Yeah, all right, cool. Bible quoted it that. So it's like you can say you have faith, but if you're not actively doing anything, it's like
right,
exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree on that.
Music is weirdest thing. True story. Aretha Franklin's music during one particular time of my life was like really helping me, like go. And I was coming out of some things, and then she died. And then Aretha, and people don't understand that, as I've never been one to really adapt to an artist or you know, or anything like that. But when Aretha Franklin died, and I was using her music to try to get to a certain place, it hit me so hard. Like I couldn't turn it off. I couldn't turn the music on because I found myself feeling even worse than I was feeling to begin with. And that's what when you say you have to deal with it. You can't just surface it. Can't just deal with the mood. You have to actually say. And I will understand. And I will say this. And before we move on, I understand there's not a lot of people get psychiatric help, seek counseling, and things of that sort because their Medicare, their medical coverage just doesn't cover it.
Right.
They aren't able to go talk to professional counselors. They can't afford it.
It's taboo. It's taboo.
They're not told who to go.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They're not actually advised where to go because my parents didn't have the money to put me through counseling. They didn't. But we seeked community help, as in churches paid for it. Right. You know, there were some counselors that said, "Hey, we can reduce this rate and give you 4. Just pay for 1." Yeah. Like, there is a lot of help out there. You just got to be willing to find it.
It's taboo because you look at the black community anyway. You know what I mean? It's not something that we talk about.
Right. Don't talk about what goes on
we don't talk about our weaknesses. Exactly. What's that happens in this house stays in this house.
Like, and that kind of goes back to one of the previous things I was saying, but I didn't want to jump back to that after we already moved on.
No.
Thanks for bringing that back around. So we don't talk about what goes on in this house.
Right.
And then also it's a sign of quote unquote weakness.
Yep.
So if you grow up in a certain area, a certain type of neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you go around and you telling people, yo, you know, sometimes I cry.
Yeah.
And you looked at as weak.
Mm-hmm.
To some people, that prison mentality comes back around, right?
Yeah.
You're not crying in prison. No. You're a victim.
Yeah.
And once you made into a victim, that's your lifestyle now.
You know,
so it's like, it's a fear.
Yeah.
You know, one, it's embarrassing. 2, I don't talk about, that's personal. I'm not talking about what's going on in this house. And 3 is it's like, yo, I'm not trying to have people look at me as weak.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I feel like a lot of this is nature, nurture. You got to think, as we're all melanated people. You know what I mean? We were born in a disadvantage. So knowing these things and knowing, like you said, a lot of especially with black men, a lot of the reasons why we're brought up the certain ways we are, because hell, it's a fucking jungle out there.
Yeah.
And hell, you got to be able to survive. So we're taught these things for thinking we're here trying to survive, not knowing that not being able to talk about these certain things is driving us crazy.
It literally will.
Can I ask y'all something as men?
Mm-hmm.
What?
You walk. I want to give y'all a scenario. You walk into some particular place and you see your boy is just got 2 tears rolling down his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
What is your response to it?
See, my
Honestly,
response would be different now.
Honestly, my response now, especially now, if it's even if it's not one of my boys, if it's somebody that I know and I see that they got tears in their eyes, I'm, yo, what's
going on?
Yeah.
But if it's my man's, now I'm gonna pull him to the side. Yo, tell me what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tell me everything.
Yeah.
That's the type.
And if
that's
I
type
feel like
person
you're
I am.
holding it back, I'm gonna punch you in your stomach. Hold you tight, and I'm gonna say, tell me everything.
Yeah.
Because I can't let my folks go out like that.
Yeah.
That's the type of person
I
I
agree.
am personally. Like you know what I mean. First of all, I'm energy based.
Very.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially like me and him, kind of just we only been knowing each other 2 years?
About 2 years now.
And it was just like I felt his energy. You know what I mean? And I'm comfortable enough to bring him around my family because I know his energy is good.
Mm-hmm.
But
Shut up.
but with all that said, you know what I mean? Like, if I not knowing him that long, he's not one of the older homies. If he was to cry, I'm gonna the type of person I am.
Yeah,
bro, what's up? Let's smoke some. What's up? Talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because my circle, I'm only as strong as the weakest person in my circle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's how I look at everything. If my circle's weak, we got to fix that shit.
We gotta fix it. Yeah.
Like I tell one of the homies to this day, and I'm not gonna throw no shit out there, but that motherfucker that you got is toxic.
Yeah.
And you better get rid of that toxic motherfucker.
I'm glad you said that too. I'm glad that you said that, because the thing is that you reflect on the people that you hang around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you have a group of friends that are just out, just drinking and smoking every day, that's basically your lifestyle too, basically.
I
You know
agree.
what I'm saying?
But you know, and with that said, because I definitely agree with that. We can't, just like we was talking about relationships last time. Don't necessarily. I'm that one. I'm not gonna give up on you immediately. I'm gonna do what I can and then try to, bro. What's up? What you got on your mind? What you want to invest in? Let's do something. Let's make some moves. Let's do something.
Mm-hmm.
If I see you still just doing the same shit every day, eventually I'm gonna have to pull away from you.
Right.
You know what I mean? The same thing with relationships.
Right.
Like, we can exhaust everything first. I know. I know.
Do y'all have sons?
The only reason I say
I got
that
two.
I don't agree with that is because it's different than leaving someone when they're just being stupid as hell in a relationship.
That's true, but
Because when it comes to mental health, like, that's something that you can't change. That person itself, they don't even know how to change it. In some cases, there is no changing. So if anything, it's trying to help them learn how to cope with it.
But even then, we said this. I said this last time in that conversation. You shouldn't even be jumping in. We shouldn't even be jumping in no relationship if we ain't even dealt with the shit we need to deal with.
I
Exactly.
feel like some people actually make it worse by actually going online and trying to, because like you said, social media will eat you alive. Some people post certain things on social media, and they're not going to get the response that they want, because people are just cruel nowadays. You know what I'm saying? They sit there, they laugh at you, they tease you, you know. And even when, like, even for some of these, like, rich people, like, for example, like a person like DeMar DeRozan that plays for San Antonio, he came out and was like, money doesn't change anything. I'm still a depressed person at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And people sit there and tease him on social media for trying to reach out and get help. You know what I'm saying?
We black folks do that too damn much. Period.
Period. And I agree with you on that.
We
We bring down ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like we bring down our own people.
We don't see white folks doing that shit. They don't tear down their own people when shit be going on.
Listen.
If anything, you should be helping each other. Like,
They
what's the
bring Johnny
point?
in and be like, like, come on, Johnny. Come on.
But then you want to tease people, you don't want to help them, but then when they really go do something, he's like, oh my God, I had no idea. Yeah, you did, bro. You just made fun of them like freaking 2 years ago.
You know what I mean?
You know, like,
it's crazy.
It's stupid.
One of my favorite artists, Zapp and Roger, you know, Computer Love, I Want to Be Your Man. He was depressed and he ended up committing suicide.
Right.
A lot of people
Roger?
Yeah.
His brother killed him. And then his brother killed himself.
Okay.
Yeah, Roger was killed by his brother.
It's
But yeah,
he was dealing with depression, wasn't he?
His brother was dealing with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Brother was dealing with it. There you go.
And then killed himself.
It's crazy.
See, a lot of people take things in different ways. That's why it's so critical to get help. Like, you need to. Like, you just really have to. I mean, me personally, like she said, like, I mean, the things that I did for myself might not help, you know, you, but it might help him. Yeah. But, I mean, it's just sharing, because everyone's going through something. Like, nowadays, and especially in our generation, like, everyone's going through something. Yeah. Right. So just share your story and see what helped you could possibly help that person. Just don't make fun of them, bro. Mental illness is... It's real. It's a battle in your head and your mind that it's so hard to deal with, you guys. Like,
this is the pipeline of DFWiRadio. We got everybody in here. We just vibing.
And a big part of it can be where you are raised and where you're from too.
Yeah.
You know, because I know certain people that I've worked with and they don't live in the best area. And when they tell me their life story, I'll be like, well, wow, you really had it hard. You know, I thought I had it hard. You really have it hard. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, and I'll be like, I can understand why you're so depressed, but you have to come up. You're gonna have to overcome it. Nature. I try to throw out positivity to people to say, hey, look, man, like even though you're depressed, you got to overcome that. You got to look past that. You got to look towards your future. You know what I'm saying? I know sometimes it can be hard for people because, like I said, like people they lock themselves in their rooms and they don't want to move, and it's like a mental block. You know what I'm saying? And
we're getting kind of close to time, so I want to pose this question because I think it's going to take up the rest of the time. I think we've all thrown in different things here and there on the mental health, and this is literally we could have 10 shows about this shit. Yeah. We could break down every disorder because people don't even know. Some shit is this or disorders.
Right.
Like overthinking is a fucking disorder. Like. It is.
You're right.
Like, you know what I mean?
It's a form of anxiety.
If somebody, one of your friends was watching right now, and some of y'all, I know, like I said, I know you dealt with a lot of things. I've dealt with depression. You dealt with depression. You dealt with depression. This is an open space.
I knew there had to be one point in your life you felt.
I will say I've had moments,
right?
But luckily, I haven't dealt with probably what would be classified as depression, but I can't fully say that.
Right.
But I definitely wouldn't put anything that I've been through in the same vein as what I've seen a lot of other people have been through.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Let me ask you this. What do y'all think is one thing that can help people, I don't want to say solve it because I think it's an ongoing battle for everybody every day. It's not. I don't think it's a solve. I think once you start taking life changes, I think you can start getting to actually building a solution. But what's that one thing you think a person who's maybe listening right now can incorporate in their lives and take those steps of just even admitting that they have an issue?
Ooh. For me, I would say I started cross comparing myself, and
you say you were doing what now?
I started cross comparing myself. I started looking at myself at various eras of my life, even though I haven't lived a long time, but looking at pictures and who you were there, and how did you feel when they're, and thinking about all of the surrounding things. And if you find a difference in your internal self, because a lot of my depression was really just me, how I felt about me. If you find a difference there, then work to get back to the place in which you most like the person that you most like the most.
Right.
Where it changed, and then start seeing what changed there.
Right.
I had to then start reaffirming myself that, girl, you know, you this and that. I had to write. Literally, I would write on my mirror different types of affirmations and things of that sort.
I do
just
that.
to get to a certain place. And then there was a time period when I can remember the day that I erased it. And I said, because we're past this place now. Because it wasn't, the things then just became that they were there.
You dealt with it.
I dealt with it, and I remember the feeling, erasing the mirror, because I used to write on my mirror with lipsticks. And so it took a while to scrub on that, but it was the most freeing thing of that. I actually dealt with how I am a diamond in the rough. You know, you are this. I mean, and sometimes it was.
You didn't let nobody use that restroom,
real.
did you? You didn't let nobody use that restroom, did you?
No.
Because they walked in there, I would have heard that. I'm just messing with you.
No, I saying that you use the guest bathroom like that's my space. I feel a certain type of way when you walk into my bathroom like, no, that's my private area.
I'm just messing with you. Candy, give me something.
What was the question?
If there's somebody listening, because I'm sure you're live, going live right now. I had to get off my live. My phone was running too high. I gotta get another phone, man. I done went to 3 phones already this year. Man, it's expensive.
iPhone.
If you could give one thing that helped you get out your dark spots, what would you say?
Just don't give up. There's a lot of times, and still days today, that I just want to give up. But God didn't put you on this world to give up. Like, He has a purpose for everybody.
Right.
And you might not see it now, but it's there. And that's just kind of what pushes me. And I'm learning to love myself to the point where it's just not depending on the love of somebody else to try to make me happy. But that I can love myself to love somebody else.
That's what's up.
And so I'm learning to deal with that on my own and with close people around me that truly love and support me. But just don't give up, because, I mean, there's a light at the end of that tunnel. And I know some days are hard as hell, but it's like, you know what? Cry for a few hours and then pick yourself up and be like, I got this. Yeah. Just go.
Okay.
First thing, mental health is just as important as physical health.
Yeah.
And one thing I can say is find this is what worked for me. Find a hobby, something that makes you happy. And like that's why I was going back to the music thing. Like, music makes me happy. And make sure you surround yourself around the right group of people that are going to bring you up and not put you down for everything. Because I've had groups of friends that just in the past, like, you know, you do certain things, if like music and stuff, and be like, oh well, you're never gonna make it in that. You might as well just go ahead and give up on that. Those are the kind of people you don't want to be around.
Right.
You want to be around the people that are gonna motivate you and say, hey, stick with that, man. This is your knack. Stick with this, man. Don't listen to what people have to say. Right. Focus on yourself, and just there's only one way you can go, and that's up. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like if you surround yourself around like the right group of people, like one day you can just truly be successful.
Support system.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
But you,
yeah, man, that hobby talk is real, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is,
running is mine. Like, running is my happy place.
Bro, you got African in you?
Huh?
You got African?
I did my ancestry, man. 89%, man.
Bro, the
other 11%.
That's why you do all that goddamn running, man.
Man, I got no European in my blood, man. Nah, man, I say, so, one, if you got to know who you can trust. It doesn't have to be a group of people. Who is that person you could trust that you could talk to? Whether that's a significant other, relative, parent, pastor, teacher, friend, whoever. Know who's that person you could talk to.
Yeah.
But before you could do that, you got to admit it to yourself.
Yes.
Can't have that denial. Once you can say it to yourself, I'm going through this, then you can say it to somebody else.
Acceptance.
And if you know that's a trusted person, now you got a safe space.
Yeah.
And you can face it, and they can help you. You know, find some other outlets who you can, you know, bring that to. And yeah, find something that brings you joy, something that brings you happiness to kind of get that out. You know, if you, whether it's making music or running or taking pictures or doing graffiti, although it's illegal, but you know, do what you got to do.
I ain't gotta know.
You can go to
Just go to the
park.
Do whatever it is that makes
place you went to.
Do what you
to
got
do
to
a video
do.
shoot.
Get it out.
Margaret Hunts Bridge, the boardwalk.
No, the other one, the graffiti place.
Over there.
Oh, you're talking about the fabrication yard.
Yeah, you can
Dallas.
go there. You can go there.
Relieve stress.
Yeah.
You know, get some spray paint and spray it up. Or what I know
Where
is
is
a lot
this
of people
place?
work out to relieve stress.
Where is this place?
It's in Dallas. It's off of. Well, if you just Google it, the fabrication yard in Dallas.
It's dope. There's so many
It's like
people
off
that go
of
over there and
Hampton.
just do their work.
It's in West Dallas.
Yeah.
And just to wrap it up, because we short on time. I think a lot of conversation we've had today kind of centers on nature nurture. We've talked about what we've seen, what we've been around, our environment. For me, and one thing that I always encourage people, for me that changed my perspective on a lot of things was knowing thy enemy. I can't ever be successful in my environment if I don't even know how I'm being attacked.
Exactly.
I'm being attacked in thousands of ways that I don't even realize.
Know your demons.
You know what I mean? Like we're being attacked from birth. What did those old white folks used to say? You don't need no. Basically, I know I'm paraphrasing, but basically we were told stop asking for handouts and pull ourselves up by our own boots. Well, motherfucker, if our oppressor is writing our history, we have nothing to be proud of.
Yeah.
If we're already at a disadvantage when we're born from redlining and all these other different things, all these government programs that say you can't have a man in the house. We don't own businesses to hire our brothers or sisters, anything like that. We're such a disadvantage in that type of term. If you don't even know the things that you're going up of, you don't even know how to fight it. You don't even know why you feeling this way.
Yeah.
So for me, once I started understanding the people that's attacking me every day, it made it easier for me to be like, okay, I know what I can control what I can control. And if I don't make these steps to make myself better, which was for me diet, I got more energy and I was able to hustle harder. I had a better mind because I stopped putting certain things in my body.
Well, also, not to interrupt real quick, but not just who's attacking you, because sometimes you can be your biggest enemy at times. So work on yourself, because you might think everyone else is out for you. In reality, you're the one hurting yourself.
But that is working on myself because, you know, me being aware of my surroundings.
Exactly.
The water, the fluoride that's in the water, that kept people docile in the Hitler days. You know what I mean? Like that shit's real. But man, we got to get out of here. We done went past our time. Where can everybody find y'all?
The Mr. David on Twitter. I just got back on it. I killed off my old page and I was like, I'll get back on it. It's still a mess on Twitter. The Mr. David on Instagram. Holla at me.
All social media, JKid Productions, JAYKID Productions, all together. Just like it says on her shirt.
It's going to be Candy Rodriguez, Candy with 2 Y's, Rodriguez on Facebook, Candy_ Rodriguez with 2 Z's, and Candy with 2 Y's, Instagram.
Live with Miss T everywhere. That's LIVEWITH MST, because I'm grown.
Hey.
You heard it.
Hey.
Treetop Dallas everywhere, man. This is the Pipeline. Check us out on SoundCloud too.
Yes.
More recently, we on YouTube, so we coming for y'all next, man. So hey, we got to get up out of here. I hope y'all here next week. We out of here. Peace.
Dose.
Rest in peace, Biggie Smalls.